welcome back to today's episode of One Hot Topic. And today is July 2nd, and it is just 30 minutes past midnight here in the beautiful city of Phoenix. So, anyways, today we are diving into some real pageant talk, the controversies, the power players, and why Miss Universe still reigns supreme. Whether you like it or not, I do love Miss Universe. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of these beauty pageants, especially the Big Five. Of course, not very happy and not very impressed with leaderships of especially Miss Universe. But it is what it is, and we are here to support the organization despite of leadership. Okay, so we are going to take a close look at the Big Five international beauty pageants, ranking them by stability and reputation. And yes, we are talking about the big names as well. When it comes to leadership, we're going to be looking at Anna Jakrachutotip, Gerhard Lipinski, and of course, our favorite, Mr. Nawat Itsaragrisil. And again, this is just an honest opinion, guys, and I will be touching on Nawat's social media drama a little bit and some of the valid criticisms. But truth to be told, I still truly admire his hustle. From his humble beginnings, and we've done a video about Mr. Itsaragrisil, from his humble beginnings to building his own beauty empire. That is just powerful. That is something that you cannot take away from this man in front of you. And because I really like the beauty pageant world, especially the Big Five, like I always say, I will also be going through this year's Miss Universe Thailand contestants. I got a Facebook message yesterday, and I was scrolling through this beautiful post from Miss Universe Thailand and all their 60-something candidates, and I have to say, how are you going to pick one from all these ladies? So whether you are a fan, a critic, or somewhere in between, I'm still a fan. Maybe somewhere in between when it comes to leadership, but there is no denying it. Again, Miss Universe still sits at the top of the pageant world. So let's get into it. So one thing that still confuses me, this is a post from Miss Universe Thailand back April 22. One thing that still confuses me, guys, is that what is truly Mr. Nawat's position with Miss Universe? And I finally came to realize that Mr. Nawat's roles within the Miss Universe organization are primarily regional, not overarching global executive positions like Miss Anne and Mr. Rocha. Of course, aside from his international appointment. So, for his international appointment for Global Miss Universe organization in April 2025, so somewhere along these lines here, Mr. Nawat was formally appointed the executive director, here, of the Global Miss Universe organization, though his role is especially tied to overseeing operations, production, and hosting duties, particularly when the event is held in Thailand. Okay, maybe we can look at some translation here. No translation. Okay. He is also serving as the vice president of the Eastern Regional Office, commonly called Miss Universe Asiana. And that is covering Asia Pacific region. Okay, and these positions mean he manages and supports national licenses within that Eastern/Asian region. But he's not a global CEO or a global president or something similar. Now, going to his national role for Miss Universe Thailand, remember yesterday we were talking about franchises and things like that. So his company, MGI, full of scandal and controversies, Miss Grand International, secured the rights to run Miss Universe Thailand starting 2025 this year, and that is under a 5-year contract and later extended toward 25 years. So he functions as a national director of Miss Universe Thailand through that franchise agreement. So separately, he holds the rights and responsibilities as director of Miss Universe Thailand through his Miss Grand International, which is that MGI organization, and that is under a multi-year franchise agreement. So the question is that, this is my question, with Mr. Nawat being both the top executive in the International Miss Universe organization and also the national director of Miss Universe Thailand, that seems to raise legitimate questions about potential conflicts of interest, right? Because as executive director of Miss Universe and the national director of Thailand, he holds influence over both the selection of Thailand's candidate or delegates and the production and judging process of the global competition. So even if he is not directly on the judging panel, his leadership could sway organizational decisions like stage time, camera exposure, scoring systems. We've heard this happening with Miss Anne 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago or a year ago when she was accused of trying to influence the selection of the winner for Miss Universe? Okay, another reason why it could be a conflict of interest is that he will have access to insider information, of course. Okay, he will have access to rules, the themes, scoring guidelines, backstage presentations and preparations before other national directors. And this will truly give Miss Universe Thailand a possible advantage in preparing their contestant. It has to be said. And I will be so surprised if Miss Thailand doesn't land top 5 for this year. Let's see. Okay, and if she lands top 5 this year, if Thailand lands top 5 this year, even if she really deserves it, or the delegate or the contestant deserves it, guess what? Everybody's gonna say it's favoritism. Everybody's gonna say it's a cooking show. Okay? So another reason why it could be a conflict of interest is power consolidation. Checks and balances are in place. They always say that all the time. And they may also highlight that with Mr. Nawat's experience, and I'm not taking this away from him, his experience in production and pageantry justifies his dual role, especially with Miss Universe 2025 being hosted in Thailand. But guess what? Public perception always matters. Because even if Miss Universe organization claims neutrality, pageant fans and national directors are already expressing concerns. And I try to be very fair, and I'm still worried. But I'm not gonna go to the point, start saying that it's a cooking show. I will not discredit everybody's efforts, because I know for sure everybody's trying to make it to win the crown in getting there. Okay, I've seen several forums and commentaries suggesting that if Thailand performs unusually well at the Miss Universe 2025, like I said, many people will suspect bias, favoritism, even if it does not exist. So one thing that I've been wanting to do is actually look at the Miss Universe organization, leadership, corporate leadership, and also their structure. And guess who I came across with today? Again, it's Sashes and Scripts official, and I actually just followed her. She's got 50,229 followers, but I also used her website yesterday when I was looking at the franchise fees. So I'm really very happy to come across her website. But anyways, we're going to look at the owners and top executives of Miss Universe organization. And we have Anne Jakrahutatip, who is still the CEO and the co-owner of the Miss Universe organization. Okay, the co-owner, Mr. Raul Rocha Canto, he is also president and co-owner, he said on June 6, and I haven't seen any other statement afterwards, he said on June 6 that they are denying any reports suggesting a change in leadership within the organization. So he said that Miss Anne remains the Chief Executive Officer, CEO, and there are no changes at this time. And of course, there are multiple media outlets. We've looked at GMA News, Philstar, Manila Bulletin, and also PEEP, is it PEP.ph? And they all confirmed that there has been no change in the Miss Universe organization executive structure. So what happened is that Miss Anne did resign from her executive roles at the JKN Global Group on June 5, 2025, and that is amidst charges by Thailand's Securities SEC over alleged financial misstatements. Again, that resignation does not include her position as a CEO of the Miss Universe organization. Okay, so here are some pictures. So we do have Miss Anne in here, and this is Mr. Raul Rocha Canto. And it says, as the business transitions from American ownership to a more global framework, a nuanced approach becomes essential to ensure a seamless integration that maximizes synergies and minimizes disruptions. An ideal that seems to be lost among former and current members of the organization, as they have been trading shady commentaries and posts on social media. Yeah, I can see that happening. Okay, so the new members of the Miss Universe organization, of course, you have your CEO and co-owner, and that's Miss Anne, president and co-owner, and that is Mr. Rocha. The VP of Legal Affairs is Mauricio Rocha. I'm not sure if they are related. And look at this. Angie Jakrahutativ is also the executive director to the CEO. Okay, a VP for sales, we have Olivia Kido Co. VP for strategic projects is Jose Castillo. VP for international relations is Mario Bucaro. A VP for finance and accounting is Carlos Martinez. A VP creative director is Andres Felipe Cabrera. Director for talent development is Karen Celebrity. Talent manager is Kathia Ayala. Talent coordinator is Luciana Argello. Executive assistant of VP Global is Cindy Villaverde. And international sales director is Cassie Villaverde. So you can see similar last names there, and it could be that they are related to each other. And there are more entries in here and more photos here. There are those photos of who we mentioned a while ago. Do you see someone from the Philippines? I do not know. Of course, our last names kind of cross that Spanish last name, so I couldn't tell. Okay. And then it says, moreover, leadership agility emerges as critical competency in navigating the intricacies of global business acquisitions. Cultivating a growth mindset empowers leaders to embrace change as an opportunity for learning and development, thereby fostering a culture of continuous improvement and innovation. And they also have the pageant updates on YouTube here. Okay, so again, we'll go ahead and throw Mr. Nawat Itsaragrisil in there. He is the executive director and the vice president of the Eastern Regional Office for Miss Universe Asiana. So he is based in Bangkok, and for him, he covers Asia Pacific operations with offices in Bangkok and Singapore. Okay, and his Western Regional Office counterpart is based in New York City and Mexico City, and his name is Osmel Sosa. And Osmel Sosa is renowned Venezuelan beauty guru, serves as presidential advisor to the Western Regional Office. Okay. And he is the CEO, the president, and the VPs based at the headquarters work across both regions but are supported locally. Okay. And then For Global HQ, of course, again, that is based in New York and Mexico City, and that's supported by CEO and Vice President Raul and multiple VPs. So there is no distinct Africa regional office. So in pageant structures, I guess Africa is typically grouped with Asia Pacific or sometimes Europe. It just depends on the context. Like, for example, continental semifinal planning. So it's not its own executive region. So just an FYI, just in case you're looking for Europe and you're looking for Africa, there is actually just two regions, and the Eastern Regional Office that is being managed by Mr. Nawat, and the Western Regional Office is being managed by Mr. Osmel Sosa. One thing I've always wanted to do, because of everything that happened in the last year with all the scandals and controversies, is actually look at the stability and reputation among the big five international beauty pageant organizations. And for me, again, for my big five, I still think that Miss Universe is on top of my list, followed by Miss World, of course, Miss International, Miss Earth, and Miss Supranational. I know that some people would say that Miss MGI or Miss Grand International supersedes Miss Supranational, but at least for me, I still see Miss Supranational in the big five. So my ranking when it comes to stability level of this big five international pageant organization is my opinion. Okay, this is based on how I see it as a viewer and as a fan. So it has nothing to do with, I haven't seen any metrics from them. So that is different. Again, this is just from my point of view. So the most stable for me, the most stable organization is Miss World. Okay, and it's because I feel like they have very minimal reputational issues. They are well established and they have transparent governance. They are one of the oldest pageant, they do have strong global presence. They have conservative values and very, very few scandals. Some of the scandals that I found though, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I said, my comment section is open in the bottom. And if you feel like you don't agree with me, just be nice and say, I do not agree with you, and let's move forward. There is no need to be nasty. Again, you are entitled to your opinion as I am entitled to my opinion. Okay, so going back to the scandal for Miss World organization, back in 2018, there was actually an allegation of nepotism and political influence. And this was during Miss World in 2018, again, when Manushi Chilar of India won. And there was a widespread discussions and accusations in India regarding favoritism and political influence affecting contestant selection and the outcomes. Okay. Do we see that every year? Yes, we do see that every year. It's actually getting worse as, we advance through time. And then also in 2016, from 2016 to 2019, there were reports of harassment claims behind the scenes. However, whoever reported these claims, they did it anonymously. I'm not sure why. This was probably back before Me Too organization or Me Too movement. And so sometimes when you report something, you really just want to do it privately because you don't want the backlash to come to you, right? But yes, it does say that there were multiple contestants that reported the organization due to misconduct allegations, prompting calls for better contestant protection and transparency, though the organization maintained a relatively clean public image. And that's what we still need at this time, right? Better protection for these ladies here. They are out there working as well. They do deserve this protection. The next stable organization, in my point of view, is Miss International. Again, very low reputational issues. They are traditional with minimal controversies as well. They have consistent leadership. They do promote cultural understanding and very few public disputes. There are several that I found, but they are not close to what we've seen recently. Back in 2019, the national director disputes in Venezuela and Philippines, of all places. So there were several franchise holders that publicly disagreed with Miss International organization over candidate selection and pageant rules, causing national scandals and some countries withdrawing or sending replacements. And then from 2015 to 2023, they were criticized over low media visibility. And they stated that there is a lack of widespread media coverage that has led to rumors about relevance and legitimacy, and of course is sparking occasional controversies fueled by misinformation. Okay, next one, moderate to stable, is Miss Earth. They do have moderate reputation issues, some criticisms over environmental advocacy, authenticity, and organizational disputes. Their focus on environmental causes, reputation occasionally affected by franchise conflicts, but generally well regarded. So between 2017 to 2020, there was an accusation on greenwashing, wherein critics and some contestants alleged that Miss Earth's environmental advocacy was more marketing than substance. And we've seen that with MGI. That's what Miss Gupta said, by the way. And so there were questions on how deeply the organization engaged in environmental causes beyond the pageant stage. And then again, from 2018 to 2022, there were franchise conflicts and candidate replacement issues, wherein several national pageants experienced leadership disputes and last-minute delegate replacements, and this generated negative media attention and, of course, contestant dissatisfaction. Okay, and moderately to stable is the fourth one, is Miss Supranational. They do have some controversies, and this is mainly management style and franchise conflicts. And we'll take a look at that one too, because I added Mr. Gerhard Lipinski on my list of executives that we'll be reviewing towards the end of this video. But Miss Supranational is going through rapid expansion, but still solidifying original stability. So I found several allegations and controversies. So back in 2017, there was an allegation of score manipulation. So fans and pageant insiders claimed irregularities in scoring at Miss Supranational 2017, and this one led to the debates over transparency and fairness, but there were no formal investigation that took place. And then between 2018 to 2023, there was a public criticism of the founder, Mr. Gerhard Parzutka von Lipinski. And a little bit in comparison with Anne and Mr. Nawat. Harsh public comments and management style caused friction between franchise holders and contestants. And this actually resulted in some resignations and negative publicity. And as I was looking at Mr. Gerhard Parzutka Lipinski during the coronation night, he does not look like a happy person, I have to say. He's got that look. He's got that look in him that his smile doesn't touch his eyes. He looks very serious. And even when he was sitting right next to Miss Indonesia, maybe it is his personality, because I'm looking at him right now and same look, but that's probably how he looks all the time, maybe. But I can see that he is a little strict. And so that's him, and we can dive more into Mr. Gerhard Lipinski in some other videos in the future. I hope that he is not as bad as you know who. And then lastly, moderate in its stability is Miss Universe organization. And of course, it's because of the recent leadership controversies and franchise disputes as well. So you'll see that franchise disputes are common denominator. And it's because everybody wants to stay on top. Everybody wants their candidates to be the winner. Everybody wants to probably suck up to the organization. Who knows what? We don't know. We're not privy to those information. But it looks like franchise disputes are a common thing in the beauty pageant world. So Miss Universe is such a high profile brand. Okay, and leadership transitions impacting reputation, but they do have strong media coverage. So there are several in here that I wrote down as I was going through some of my research. But from 2024 to 2025, there is leadership controversies involving Anne, Jakrahutathip, and of course, adding there, Mr. Nawat Itsaragrisil. Anne's resignation from JKN Global amid her financial investigations, and of course Nawat's dual role as executive director and national director for Thailand sparked questions of conflict of interest like we discussed, and of course organizational stability. And then between 2015 to 2023, there were franchise tensions and delegate disqualifications. So we've seen multiple incidents such as Miss USA dethronements. We've seen that 2015 and 2016, and political controversies involving countries like Venezuela and the Philippines. And then back in 2023, there was a sexual harassment allegations in Miss Universe Indonesia, wherein several contestants accused the Indonesian franchise organization of inappropriate body checks, requiring them to strip down to underwear in front of so many people, including men, and reported being photographed topless without consent during the 2023 national pageant. That is terrible. These allegations led the Miss Universe organization to immediately cut ties with the Indonesian franchise and its national director, and this also canceled the Miss Universe Malaysia pageant as the same franchise held both licenses. Okay, the incident sparked police investigation and public outrage, highlighting serious concerns about contestant safety and ethics in pageantry. Anyways, like I said, this is based on my own research. So you may agree, you may not agree. You are entitled to your opinion. Let me know on the comment section below what you think about it. Okay, so now moving forward, we will now rank the controversies between Nawat versus Anne versus Gerhard Parzutka Lipinski. Okay, so the first one with the highest impact, of course, between Anne and Nawat, who do you think is gonna take the first spot? Okay, as much as I don't like Mr. Nawat sometimes, like I said, I'm a fan of his hustle and his rise to fame and fortune and things like that. Same with Anne, right? But I think the first one, or the person that ranks first when it comes to controversy, is of course Miss Anne Jakrahutathip. For the overview of her controversy, of course, number one is her resignation from JKN Global because of all these things happening with her finances in Thailand, and the ongoing leadership questions in Miss Universe organization, despite of Miss Universe organization saying that she is still the CEO. This big question mark in people's minds, right? And public scrutiny over corporate governance as well. Okay, and this I would say is a high impact when it comes to the organization, as it directly affects the Miss Universe global leadership. There is now questions of transparency and stability. Now the second one is our favorite, Mr. Nawat Itsaragrisil. Aside, of course, from taking the dual role as Miss Universe organization Eastern executive director, and then of course the Miss Universe Thailand national director, I say that this is causing, or a lot of people are thinking that this is causing a conflict of interest concerns. And then of course the past criticisms around leadership styles and alleged favoritism, and the blunt and sometimes harsh public criticisms of contestants on social media actually overlaps with his MGI controversies. So back in 2019, he's got that public criticism of contestants' attitude and preparation. He described contestants for having no lack of discipline and unprofessional behavior during rehearsals and events. And then in 2021, he again had harsh remarks on social media about the pageant results. And then 2023, calling out contestants over social media conduct as well. And then of course 2025 is what's happening between 2024 and 2025 is what's happening, or what happened between him, MGI, and Miss Rachel Gupta. And for this alone, I would say it has moderate to high impact on the organization because of his regional and national influence, and with perceived conflicts undermining fairness. And the public image of the organization is affected by outspoken style. Now, going on to Gerhard Parzutka von Lipinski. For him, he's got a little bit of a moderate impact to his organization. The public criticism for blunt and authoritarian management style comes first for Mr. Lipinski. There were actually franchise resignations citing communication issues. So I feel like if you are the CEO or the owner of the organization, you do have someone that's always there to draft your communications. Trust in your organization and the people that you hire to do their jobs. It should not be coming from you, right? Same thing as when you handle how you handle social media, because it looks like he also had some social media controversies. Okay, so for these things going on with Mr. Lipinski, his management style, concerns affecting Pageant's reputation and franchise relation, does have a moderate impact, like I said, to his organization. So that's what we have. Now, before we go, just to cleanse our palates, I really want to go over Miss Universe Thailand. Like I said, I was really surprised, not really surprised, I was really impressed by the contestants of the different provinces in Thailand. So we'll be taking a look at all of them and looking at some of my favorites, and I do have several. So let's take a look. Okay, so let's start with Praveneer Singh. You know, that last name, the name and the last name sounds Indian to me, right? So she is 29 years old, she is a model, and she is a business owner. Okay, remember her face? She is 29 years old, and she is from the province of Saraburi. And I may say it incorrectly, especially the last name. If I don't read the last name, it's because I don't know how to read it. Okay, from Kalasin is Yanisa Chonlaharn. She is 23 years old and she is a business owner. She looks so petite. Okay, that's her. It looks like she's gonna make it to top 10, don't you think? Okay, so next one is from Nakun Si Tamarat, and her name is Kamanporn Thongfon, and she is 24 years old and she's a model. Right? What did I tell you guys? Okay, next one is from Pichaburi, and her name is Mutita Kern Thalmia, and she is 30 years old and she is a business owner. I like how the little hair curl on her forehead. She looks so regal. Okay, next one is from Fanga, and her name is Pichafa Justice, and she is 21 years old and she is a freelance model. Goodness gracious. Okay, and from Phuket, and her name is Narimol Phimphakdi, and she's 23 years old, model, and she is a content creator. Love the tone of her skin, I have to say. Okay, and the next one is from Samut Sankram, and her name is Wichuda Kamias, and she is 27 years old. She's a model and a restaurant owner. I think that they made a mistake here. Owner restaurant, I think it should be restaurant owner. Okay. Did they just put the crowns after the pictures, or are they really wearing the crowns? Not sure. Okay, next one is from Krumtev Mahanakon, and her name is Prewanich Rangton, and she is 32 years old and she's got a master's degree student. Oh, she is taking her master's degree, and she is a beauty blogger. I wonder what master's degree that is. She's a young, oh, she looks very young though, right? She's 32 years old. Okay, and this lady here is from Chat Choeng So, and her name is Pia Pat Songkwang Sokwang Sin. She is 21 years old and she is still a student. Love those earrings. And the crown, my goodness, where did they get all these crowns? And they are different from each girl, I think. That one is beautiful. Oh my gosh, she even has a better crown. Okay, So Pornpaya Rianju is from Chayapum. She's 21 years old. She is a tourism and hospitality student. I think that is Tara Valencia's degree. I think she has a degree in tourism as well. Okay. Beautiful. Doesn't she look like one of the Thai contestants to the Miss Universe? She is from Fatalong and her name is Vanessa Desiree Temhidi or Temhid, and she is 18 years old and she is still a student. Okay, next one is Miss Pianuch Yamsara, and she is from Sukhuthai. She is 30 years old and she is a freelance artist. Okay, another one is Sirin Chowdwang, and she is from Phitsanulok and she's 26 years old, and it says freelance. Okay, freelance what? Freelance actress, freelance model, and you will see several ones that just would say freelance. Okay, goodness. She is beautiful. Now, she is from Nakhon Nayok and her name is Tanyarat Rai Riang. She is 28 years old. She is a flight attendant and she is also a model. Yeah, they are wearing the crowns, by the way. It looks like they are already winners, I have to say. How can you compete with these beauties? Okay, next one is from Uttaradit and her name is Pichayawi Yokoyama. With Japanese blood, is it? Yokoyama sounds Japanese, no? And she is 30 years old and she is a sale consultant. Okay. Next one is from Lampang and her name is Kuchasorn Kosivachaya. She is 24 years old and she is an interior designer and also a business owner. I love her hair. That is truly a crowning glory there. Okay, next one is from Rayong and her name is Duang Duan Collins. She is 31 years old. She is a marketing manager for Asia Pacific region, probably. Okay. And this is Samita Sejil and she is from Prachinburi. She is 24 years old and she is a model and a business owner. Okay. Next one is from Lowy and her name is Shalini Jakraksa. She is 19 years old and again it just says freelance in here. I'm thinking freelance model. What do you guys think? But I love that crown. It looks so Thai to me, right? It looks like one of those places, tourism areas and temples in Thailand. It looks so grand. Oh, okay. Her name is Vanessa Potiwan and she is from Bueng Can and she is 26 years old. She is a content creator and also an influencer. I wonder how many followers she has. Because if she has a lot of followers and they have, again, same thing like popularity contest through voting, then she's going to get lots and lots of votes. Okay, next one is Dina Satanghon and she is from Samut Sakhon. She is 23 years old. She is an actress and also a model. She's got that bright smile and kind of like eyes lighting up. Okay, next one is Arpakorn Fong Wong and she is from Nonthaburi. She is 27 years old and again it just says freelance in here. Is she gonna be one of your picks for top 5, top 10, top 20 maybe? Tough competition for Thailand. Okay, next one is from Trat and her name is Warrentorn Pupadre. And she is 26 years old and she is a model. I love that gorgeous hair. Okay. Oh, her crown is so unique. I haven't seen one like that so far. I wonder if it's provided by the organization. Was it provided by Miss Universe? I have to see how we presented our Miss Universe Philippines. Were they also wearing crowns? Is that something that you would decide as a national director? So I'll have to make a little bit of comparison. I've seen the pictures from yesterday and I wanted to do a little bit of a review with you guys. That's the reason why. But I know our Miss Universe Philippines is done already. Maybe let's look at other countries that have ongoing contests, and it will be nice to see that will be competing for the Miss Universe global competition. Okay, so this is Kit Kai Pumkahon or Pumkahon, and she is 20 years old. She is a student and an influencer, and she is from Sakhon Nakhon. Okay, next one is from Nung Kai. Her name is Pariyakorn Chin Don. She is 17 years old, one of the youngest, by the way. I think there are a few 17 years old, so she's one of the 17 years old. She's a student and freelance actress, freelance model, not sure. Her crown looks so unique as well. Okay, 36 years old. Probably one of the older ones that you will see on this competition for Thailand. I believe there was one who is 37 years old, so we have 17 years old and then all the way to 37 years old. But they don't look like they're 37. I have to say, I'm so jealous. Although, of course, I'm way older than that. But I wonder how I looked like when I was 37 years old. Okay, so this is Soniporn Charan Chai, and she is from Mukdahan. She is 36 years old. She is a franchise owner of maybe some business, and she is also a tutor. She looks so regal. It looks like she is already the winner. Don't you think? Okay. Our next contestant here is from Nakhon Ratchasima, and her name is Juraluk Fonroang. She is 29 years old. She is a makeup artist and also a secretary. I love that. Okay. It's like one of those normal jobs that people actually do. Normal people like us do, right? Okay, next one is from Fate Sheet, and her name is Nayonjira Sayang, and she's 28 years old, and she is a business owner. Okay, she reminds me of one of my coworkers. Her name is Amanda. Same eyes, same smile, really gorgeous. Okay, next one is from Kanchanaburi, and her name is Panita Krub Baoban. She's 29 years old, and she is a marketing supervisor. Okay, next one is from Angfang, and her name is Menchaya Latai Song. She is 22 years old, and she is a student. Look at that crown, too. Okay, next one is from Chainat, and her name is Supaporn Sancharunpong. I should probably stop reading the names, don't you think? Or maybe just the first name. So she is 31 years old, and she is a model. And this is Marisa Klinpongsa, and she's from Nan. She is 32 years old, and she is a business owner. Okay, next one is 21-year-old student. Her name is Kanpicha Lasao, and she is from Chiang Rai. Okay, and this is Rosarine Kuatong. She's 37 years old. Okay, so two 37s already, right? And she is a flight attendant, and she's from Phayao. I think the other one is 36, so she is 37. So this is the first 37 years old that you'll be seeing. We have 117, we have 136, and 137. And this is this is from Fra Nakon Si Ayataya, and her name is Jendawan Choprayun, and she is 32 years old. She is a business owner, so she has a restaurant and a aesthetic clinic. She could be a nurse or a nurse practitioner. Okay, next one is 24 years old model, actress, and an MC. So she is a host. Her name is Marissa Praditsan, and she is from Prachwap, Kirikan. Beautiful crown. I love her dimples. Okay, so she is from Moranon. Her name is Sirin Supit Pachim Savat. She is 33 years old. She is a singer, so we know already what's her talent. She is also an actress, a host, and also a content creator. I'm always jealous of people who can sing, because I cannot sing, and I'm from the Philippines. And one time I was working in the OR, and one of the surgeons said, "Hey, can you sing?" And I'm like, "No, I can't sing, doctor." And she goes, "What? You're the only Filipino who I know can't sing." So I'm always jealous of Filipinos who can sing, because I cannot. Okay. Next one, 17 years old. Okay, so now we have two 17 years old, and she is equally gorgeous. Her name is Maya Halima. She is 17 years old. She's a student, and she's from Nawat Itsaragrisil. And these girls and these ladies are going to go very far because they are very young. 17 years old. Okay, next one is Angelina Skywalker. Is that a real name? Angelina Skywalker, and she's from Suphanburi. She is 22 years old. She's a student, a model, and a tutor. Doesn't she look like Opal, Miss World? Opal Sochata. So her name is Barali Romrak. She is 26 years old. She is a teacher. I love it. Another regular job. She is a teacher, and she is from Sisaket. And I'm rooting for her, Barali Romrak. So I'm actually going to have her on my top 5. Gorgeous girl. Okay, let's look at the next one. And this is 21-year-old freelance model. Her name is Parichat. I'm not even going to try with the last name. And she is from Surin. Okay, next one is a 29-year-old. She's a singer, also a host, a business owner. Her name is Yananaya Srimong, and she is from Ubun Ratchathani. Okay, and this is Kanukwan Sowansri, and she is from Buriram, and she's 27-year-old. She is a beauty consultant and also an influencer. Oh, this is a little blurry, don't you think? I feel like it's a little fuzzy. And her name is Chinothai Srisok. She's 19 years old. She's a student, and she is from Frai. I feel like her crown is also not in the middle. Okay, next one. How come some of the girls are holding flowers? Did you notice that too? Like she's holding flowers. And her name is Plaifa Kaitum Ma, and she's 25 years old. She is a freelance actress, and she's from Utai Thani. And our next contestant is 24 years old model and business owner, and her name is Ariyakon Sukfitnak, and she is from Songkla. So see how she's not holding a flower? And it makes a lot of difference when you're holding something, because it makes it even better on the picture. Although I have to say, if I go back and see some of the girls that don't have flowers, they also look great. Okay, I guess it was just a little different. Okay, next one is Chantika Kaubutdi, and she is 27 years old, and she is from Satun. This one too is a little blurry. Whoever took the picture, you'll have to go back in there and reshoot it. Or maybe it's my vision, but this one looks a little blurry to me. So her name is Not Chanat. Okay, not gonna try on the last name. She's 24 years old. She's a model and also an influencer, and she is from Krabi. This one is Warisaya Sawangkaran. She is 21 years old. She is an English tutor, so she will probably do great in the Q&A. And she is from Nakhon Phanom. Gorgeous crown. She looks so simple yet so elegant. Have you seen a contestant with a short hair? Not yet, right? All of them have this long, gorgeous hair, but I'd love to see someone with a very short hair. Okay, next one is Amandine. Love that name, Amandine. And last name is Grasset. She is 24 years old. She is a model, and she is from Pathum Thani. And Pathum Thani, I think there are several contestants from that area there. So it's not just one contestant. Like, for example, there's only one contestant from Baguio City, one contestant from Ifugao, one contestant from Isabela. But it looks like, in this case, I think this is the third candidate that is from Pathum Thani. Okay, next one is Sansinan Kulab. She's 26 years old. She is an IT content creator. Okay. And she is also a business owner. So she is into technology, and she is from Kunkaen. Okay. And first 18-year-old that we see, her name is Sarita Shim, and she's from Maha Sarakam. She is 18 years old, and she is an architecture student. Doesn't she kind of look like Megan Fox a little bit? Okay, next one, so many flowers. Her name is Yonrada Wadjana, and she's from TAC, and she is 29 years old. She is a freelance aesthetic surgery consultant. Freelance aesthetic surgery consultant. What's the degree for you to become an aesthetic surgery consultant? 29 years old. Okay. Beautiful. She looks like she is on top of her game. Her name is Nichari Chingduan, and she is from Chantaburi. Again, I've seen several candidates from Chantaburi already. She is 32 years old. She is a business owner, and she has hotel and real estate business. She is in hotel and real estate business. Okay, next one is 18-year-old Melita Jasmine Marie. She is a student, and she's from Mae Hong Son. I love how her crown just complements her dress. Okay, and this is Afirata. First one that I've seen so far with a dark colored gown. But the crown matches the gown, so that's good. And she is from Sakeo, and she is 29 years old, and she is a business owner. Okay, and from Champon is Sopasita Kamyai, and she is 21 years old, and she is influencer and also a student. And next one is 31 years old, wedding planner. It's like one of those regular jobs, like I said. And she's from Lamphun, and her name is Nuchayapar Sri Champon. Okay, next one is from Uduntani, and her name is Pradwara Satarat Payun, and she's 30 years old. She's a freelance actress. Okay, and coming your way is 26 years old freelance model, and her name is Tanya Thorn Tanji Rat Tanawat, and she is from Roy It. Oh my gosh, I love her gown. Her name is Sofisa Subhem. She is from Chiang Mai, and she's 21 years old. She is an actress and also an influencer. It looks like her crown is a little bit bigger than her head. See how I can see the space on the back? Okay, and this is from Patani, and her name is Chathanan. Okay, Thao Sirifan, and she's 26 years old. She is a CEO and the founder of probably her own business. Okay, and this is Arisa Sukai. She is 24 years old. She is a business owner, and she is from Yala. That crown, where did she get it? It's beautiful. Okay, and this is Kwan Kao Kung Sak. She is 18 years old. She is a student, and she is from Naratiwat. Tiny. And that's it. So there's actually two 17 years old, lots of 18 years old, lots under 20s, early 30s, and then there was one 37 and two 36 years old. There is one teacher, I have to say, she's my favorite, and some other ladies that are also my favorite. But anyways, those are your contestants for Miss Thailand, Miss Universe Thailand, and I'm so excited. I want to see who's gonna be the one they will be crowning. And I'm sure she's going to do her best. Of course, going back to what we said, regardless if she's going to do her best with Mr. Nawat holding all these positions for Miss Universe organization, I'm sure everybody's going to say, not me though, I'm not going to say that, but a lot of the people will say it's a cooking show. So we wish Miss Thailand, Miss Universe Thailand, good luck, and we will keep an eye on who will be winning the crown and representing Thailand to the global pageantry for Miss Universe. Other than that, thank you so much, guys, for being with me on this first July episode of One Hot Topic. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and also share this video as it helps on the algorithm. And I'll see you again next time. Thank you.